Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So, I bought a new book. I saw it on Amazon and thought this is perfect for our little channel. Us little geography nerds. And as you can see, it's called the Atlas of Unusual Borders. And as soon as I saw this, I thought, wow, where is that? So it says, discover intriguing boundaries, territories, and geographical curiosities. And this lovely book is by Zoran Nikolic. So, it covers quite a lot of places in Australia, India, China, Africa, maybe that's, is that Tanzania, Rwanda, somewhere around there, South Africa, maybe on the border with Angola, that's Argentina, the States, Canada, lots in Canada actually. And there'll be absolutely loads in Europe, of course. I'm just going to go through the book in order, see how this video goes, and if you enjoy it, then I'll do a second part. I apologise in advance if any of these are culturally sensitive. I just noticed Armenia, Azerbaijan, for example. Okay. Let's start off then. Medjugorje, Bosnia and Herzegovina and Serbia. The wedding gift that became an enclave. Sounds fun. So this is Serbia in the south here, and this is Bosnia and Herzegovina, specifically Republika Srpska. The cities of Mioče, Ustibar, Rudo, Nikolici, Priboj, here in Serbia, Sastavci, Medjugorje. This is Bosnia, within the boundaries of Serbia. Let's find out about it, shall we? Only 15 kilometers from the tri-border area between Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina and Montenegro lies the smaller village of Medjugorje. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Though similar to all the other villages in the region, Medjugorje has one important characteristic that distinguishes it from the rest. It belongs to Bosnia and Herzegovina, though it is surrounded entirely by the territory of Serbia. The reason for this, according to a popular local story, is that during the time of the Ottoman Empire, Bosnian Bey gifted one of his wives some 400 hectares of land and woods in the vicinity of Priboj in Serbia. When demarcation was established between Austria-Hungary and Turkey, this land was annexed to Bosnia, which was occupied at the time by the Habsburg Empire. Ever since then, this land has been classed as part of the municipality of Rudo in Bosnia and Herzegovina. In the meantime, the village of Medjugorje was built there. When the Yugoslav states were united as one country, it was of little importance which piece of land belonged to which republic or province. So it was the local authority of Priboj, Serbia, that provided the infrastructure, roads, power supply, school, police station, etc. This has created the situation whereby the inhabitants pay their taxes to the authorities of Rudo in Bosnia, or more specifically the subdivision of Republika Srpska, while all the other utility bills are paid to Priboj in Serbia. The exclave covered an area of little under 400 hectares, equivalent to about 550 football fields, which lies just over a kilometre from Republika Srpska. Most of the 270 inhabitants have either Serbian or dual citizenship. Children from the village, along with those from nearby villages in Priboj, attend classes in a primary school which, although located within this Bosnian exclave, follows the curriculum of Serbia. An additional peculiarity is the fact that the local council offices of the Serbian village of Sastavci are located within the village of Međurječe. While this whole enclave is administered by the Rudo local council offices in Mioce, the village of Sastavci is located in Serbia, along the very border of this enclave. Due to their proximity and unclear borders, the towns of Međurječe and Sastavci in many ways function as one settlement, even though a state border officially divides them. It is interesting to note that Međurječe is also surrounded by a religious border. The enclave is part of the Metropolitanate of Dabar Bosnia of the Serbian Orthodox Church, while the surrounding villages are part of the Eparchy of Mileševa. An important regional road passes through the enclave, creating problems for the inhabitants of some of the villages within the Priboj municipality when travelling to their administrative centre at Priboj town. The solution to this problem has yet to be agreed on. Serbia proposes an exchange of territories with Bosnia and Herzegovina in order to correct the border, while Bosnia believes that establishing a corridor between Rudo and Međurječe would be a better solution. Okay, let's go on to France and Andorra and Spain. So, the place that became an enclave because it had been given town status. As we can see on the map here, France to the north, Andorra, and then Spain. So, Llivia, part of Spain, is just over the border into France, not far from Andorra, in the mountains. Llivia is a Spanish, or more precisely Catalan, town within the territory of France. It is located about 20 kilometers east of Andorra and 1 kilometer from the Spanish-French border. Approximately 1,500 inhabitants live within the 12 square kilometers of this Spanish enclave in France. Llivia became an enclave in an interesting way. A significant factor was the granting of town status upon Llivia as far back as the early Middle Ages. It had been the ancient capital of one of the Catalan counties, Cerdanya, and played a key role in the second half of the 17th century, when Spain and France established their border through the Pyrenees. According to the border agreement, Spain was obliged to hand over all the villages of northern Cerdanya to France, and so it did. However, as Llivia had the status of a town, Spain retained this detached piece of land. The inhabitants of Llivia often regard their town as the birthplace of Catalonia because their medieval ruler, Count Sunifred, ruling from Llivia itself, laid the foundations of the present-day Catalan identity. In order to make up for the fact that Llivia had become detached from its homeland, it was allocated a relatively large area of land hatched on the map. I'm guessing this means this. western side of Lake Buyouze, north of the town. Although this land belongs to Yvia, it remains under French state sovereignty. Today, the crystal clear lake, lying at about 2,000 meters above sea level, I said it was mountainous, is a popular holiday destination. Apart from tourism, it is important for dairy farming and the production of high-quality milk. Europe's oldest pharmacy, drugstore to you in the US, founded in the early 15th century, is located in Yvia. It was donated to the town and made into a museum of pharmacy. The permanent display contains a large collection of original blue earthenware jars, albarello or albarello, which were used to store ointments and dried remedies in medieval pharmacies. Among the exhibits, there is a large quantity of old medicines and cosmetic products, as well as some of the largest collections of prescriptions in Europe. Despite the rural character of Yvia, this place represents a significant tourist attraction, not only because of its status as an enclave. An important music festival is held there every year, which gathers together the most well-known musicians from across the Cerdagne region. The Pharmacy Museum also attracts a large number of visitors, as well as the ruins of a fortress on the nearby hill. Okay, back to the region, what they call the Balkans. It seems that one of the houses belongs to neither country. Sounds fun. Let's have a look at this then. We've talked about Croatia's very odd borders previously, particularly its one with Bosnia on the coast. But this has to be absolutely bizarre. So that's Croatia, including all of this. So this is Slovenia in the middle here. That in itself is weird, but even weirder is this, which is Brezovica Žumberačka, Croatia. So this is all Slovenia for context. And it's in the region of Brezovica pri Metliki in Slovenia. When a country is divided up, it often follows that what was a complicated internal border becomes an equally complicated international border. Such was the case along one section of the Slovenian-Croatian border, not far from the Croatian town of Karlovac. During the time of Yugoslavia, the federal border between Slovenia and Croatia, constituent elements of the former country, passed through the village of Brezovica. The largest part of this village, Brezovica pri Metliki, was on the Slovenian side of the border, and the smaller part, Breznovica Žumberačka, belonged to the Croatian municipality of Ozalje, now within Karlovac county. Brezovica Žumberačka has only a few houses, with 30 or so inhabitants, occupying an area of less than 2 hectares. But with a neighbouring Slovenian village, Brezovica pri Metliki, it forms one place. Interestingly, it seems that the Croatian and Slovenian authorities are not entirely sure exactly where the borderline is. It is even possible that there are currently a few more miniature enclaves and exclaves. Although this situation is less of an issue now that Slovenia and Croatia have entered into the European Union. A bizarre possibility is the fact that one house, together with the land around it, does not belong to either country. To clarify, in case you're not sure, the European Union has borderless travel. You don't need a passport to cross over. You just need ID. Usually. This would make it the so-called terra nullius, namely no man's land, This has created an opportunity for the proclamation of an independent country, which was exploited in a virtual way. A website for the newly formed Kingdom of Enclave emerged on the internet, though it had nothing to do with the inhabitants of the house itself. After the Slovenian government officially declared it to be their territory, the enclave moved to one of the disputed islands in the river Danube, on the border between Serbia and Croatia. Also in this part of the world, 100 kilometers or so northeast of Brezovica, there is a possible triple tri-border area of Slovenia, Croatia and Hungary. According to some maps, a small part of Slovenia on the Mura River appears to be separate from the rest of the country and is located between Hungary and Croatia. Because it lies between two countries, this unnamed territory is not a true enclave, but it is certainly a Slovenian exclave, with two of its own tri-borders. Since this part of the border has not yet been fully defined, there may yet be changes to it in the future. I love this one. I've only read the first couple, so I'm looking forward to finding some new ones on this in this video as well. Okay, this is one for the Italian subscribers. This is, of course, Italy, on its northern border with Switzerland. You'll have to imagine, but the Alps are here. So this is Lake Lugano. Lugano, for your information, is an Italian-speaking region of Switzerland. However, here there is a massive mountain range. So, if you will read the info in a second, but what it refers to is the fact that there to there on a map, as the crow flies, is not very far at all. However, it's not possible. There's no road because this is a mountain. And so you have to go around. Okay, just to give you a context of what I'm about to talk about. Also, it appears that part of Lake Lugano is claimed by Italy as well. Lake Lugano lies in the far south of Switzerland, with the city that shares its name located on its northwestern shore. 2/3 of the lake and its shores belong to Switzerland, and the remaining third to Italy. An important part of this Italian third is besieged by the territory of Switzerland. The part in question is the Italian town of Campione d'Italia, located on the eastern shore of Lake Lugano, southeast of the city of Lugano. The town covers about 1.6 square kilometers and is home to over 2,000 people. Although it is less than a kilometer away from the rest of Italy, high mountains prevent easy access to the home country. Therefore, Campione residents have to travel nearly 15 kilometers to reach the nearest Italian town. The beautiful scenery that surrounds the glacial lake attracts many visitors to the area. Owing to tourism and a large casino, the unique status of Campione allows free gambling and tax-free sales. This town is very rich. The casino is the largest single employer in the enclave, founded in 1917 as a place for collecting information from foreign diplomats during the First World War. It is now the largest casino in Europe and provides sufficient income for Campione to prevent the need for tax. The casino is under state ownership and operated by the local council. Although Campione is a sovereign Italian territory, many of its services are more closely linked to Switzerland. For a start, the official currency is the Swiss franc, although the euro is usually accepted too. Switzerland is responsible for customs formalities, and cars use the license plates of the Alpine Confederation. Likewise, telephones. Almost all phones go through the Swiss operators, so the calls from the rest of Italy to Campione are treated as international. In terms of addresses, both Italian and Swiss postcodes are permitted. The residents of Campione have the right to use the services of Swiss hospitals as if they were residents of Switzerland. A brief note here that Switzerland is not part of the European Union, so the same rules that I spoke of earlier for Slovenia and Croatia don't apply. However, is it in the Schengen? I don't think it's even in the Schengen. It might be. I can't remember. So they have a different currency, and yeah, it's a completely different situation. Historically, one of the most important moments for Campione occurred at the end of the 18th century, when the canton of Ticino joined the Swiss Confederation. The residents of Campione decided to remain within Lombardy, which later became part of Italy. Lombardia is where Milan is located, Milano. In the mid-1930s, by the decision of the then Italian Duce Benito Mussolini, the suffix d'Italia was added to the town's name in order to further emphasize its allegiance to Italy. During the Second World War, Campione largely became separated from the rest of Italy and functioned almost as a Swiss canton. As a result, this small town, unlike the rest of Italy, was not occupied during the war by the Germans, nor by their allies after the war, because Switzerland was neutral in the World War, both World Wars, so it was never occupied. And again, for further, because it is a strange word, canton is the areas of Switzerland, so states in the United States, counties in England, so cantons in Switzerland. Some 200 kilometers northeast of Campione, there is another Italian town tied to the Swiss system, Livigno, Livigno in Lombard, Louvain in German. Although not an enclave, its limited travel connections with the rest of Italy mean that it has had the status of a duty-free zone for some time. Okay, shall I do one more? This one's about Germany and Belgium. Venbahn. We'll do one more. Enclaves that were created when the border railways ownership passed from Germany to Belgium. Okay, so Germany is to the east and Belgium here is to the west. However, I'm guessing this is the railway, means that this is over the other side of the border. Stranger still is this little loop here. If we look at it, we've got the railway passing through, and this is the German border. But we've got this slip of land, which is Germany, but then this is now Belgium again. How weird. I think they're about 4, therefore. 1, 2, 3, 4. Most of the world's enclaves were formed as a result of some historical gameplay, conquests, peace treaties, various border movements. Undoubtedly, among the strangest such territories are the 5 within Belgium that belong to Germany, and all of these separated from their home country by a single railway line, known as the Venbahn. At the end of the 19th century, what is now eastern Belgium was part of the German Empire. This area lies to the south of Aachen, the former capital of the Frankish Emperor Charlemagne, Charles the Great. And until recently, it was traversed by a seemingly ordinary railway. Although the railway lay within Germany, its route took it right along the border with Belgium. And so it was until the end of the First World War. Following the war, Under the terms of the Treaty of Versailles, Belgium gained some territory from Germany. The railway passed through this land with the exception of a few dozen kilometres, which remained in Germany. Belgium asked the Allies for the whole railway line, which was approved, and so the whole of the route came under Belgian sovereignty, along with a few metres either side of the track. In this way, some areas of German territory became isolated from the rest of the country, thus creating enclaves. Over time, some of these enclaves have been absorbed into one or other country. Some have changed shape, and some have increased or decreased in size, and some have merged or separated. For a brief period, there was even a small Belgian counter-enclave, an enclave within an enclave, within one of the German areas. Today the enclaves that remain are Münster Bildern, Rötgenerwald, Hochschlag, Müntzenich, and Ruitzhof. They're even strange words for German. They're very odd words. Because both Germany and Belgium are members of the European Union, the problem of defining the borders of them is considerably less of an issue than it was in the past. The extents of the remaining enclaves are very varied. The largest is about 1,200 hectares in area, while the smallest is only about 1.5 hectares. The populations vary considerably too, from 4 to about 2,500. The railway was initially used for the transportation of coal and iron ore. Later it became a tourist attraction, but over time it lost that function as well. Today, most of the railway has been dismantled and the larger section of this route used as an increasingly popular cycle path. And walking trail, passing through mostly flat green countryside. At the beginning of the 21st century there were suggestions that, since it is no longer in use as a railway line, the land through which the Vennbahn passed should be returned to Germany. However, the Belgian and German Prime Ministers have recently pointed out that the border between Belgium and Germany has long been clearly defined, and they see no reason to change that now. Interestingly, the German language is predominantly spoken in the part of Belgium that surrounds these enclaves. Very interesting. Okay, I will leave it there for tonight. And next time we're going to be looking at Germany and Switzerland, if we do this video again. Do drop a comment and let me know if you'd like to have me continue this series. Oh, that looks a busy one in the Netherlands. And let's see other things. There's one for Russia here and Belarus. Russia and Finland. Russia and Lithuania. Etc. Okay. If you enjoyed this video, could you boop that like button for me, please? Leave a comment, subscribe if you are new to the channel. Welcome. And if you really want to get more from this channel, consider joining me on Patreon. Not only do you get every single video I do in this channel up to a week early, but in the new year I'm going to start doing an extra video per month to begin with, just on Patreon, and I won't be releasing those on the main channel. We'll see how that goes, and maybe I'll up it from once a month to more regularly again. Okay, thank you so much.